We don't have a date yet for when AQ40 is going to come out. Maybe it's a month, who knows, plus or minus the war effort. But I think what's important to discuss is where does the tier items go? Because when an item drops, it's a token that can go from multiple classes. And every full clear, you're going to be able to equip 2 people with a full set, assuming one person gets the full set. But you get the point. 10 pieces are going to drop in each raid, and the set is a 5 set piece. Now, only a couple classes really benefit from the 5-piece set. In fact, I would only say shamans truly benefit from the 5-piece. Rogues, it's good for PvP, but in terms of PvE, really, most classes don't want the 5-piece, but shamans definitely do. But anyways, let's discuss which ones are really good and should go to certain classes, and which ones are frankly just like under no circumstance should that class receive one of those tokens. Because even though you're getting 2 full sets per week, 10 weeks, that's only half the raid. So of the bosses in AQ40, the first boss who actually drops tokens is Princess Huhuron and also Vicidus. They together each drop the same tokens, and these tokens are a bit different than the other ones. They are either going to give you a shoulder or boot token, and so that's why there's 2 bosses that drop each of these tokens. So you can get shoulders and boots in one raid. So what do they give? So first we'll look at the Karaji Bindings of Dominance for Pally, Shaman, Mage, Warlock, Druid. Objective of... So, you get the Avenger Greaves. Sure, they're okay for, a rep pally or a prop pally, but honestly, the Ranker gear is pretty similar, and while... yeah, the 5-piece is nice. It's a wheelchair class, so giving a paladin this gear over other classes is like shooting yourself in the foot. And that's just pallies. You got to wait in line. Warlock feet, they're not that great. Nothing special to see here. The shoulders are nice because they have some hit, so they are decent shoulders. The Enigma boots are pretty good for mage because of the plus hit, although these are really quite similar to the rank 12 boots. These shoulders are trash for mage. Those better from Blackwing Lair. The Druid set is just terrible, absolutely terrible. And so if you're in a Horde raid, I really think you should prio it to the Shamans. And this isn't because I play a Shaman, but the 5 set is reducing the cast time of Chain Heal by 0.4 seconds. It will mean that you run out of mana faster, although all of these pieces have mana per 5, and you do have mana potions, don't you? It just really is going to increase your output for raid healing, just sending those chain heals. 2.5 second chain heal is a long cast. And then they still have very comparable amounts of damage and healing on them. So they're a little bit less healing than your max healing setup could be if you have like Boots of Pure Thaw and all this other stuff, but very good set, especially when you couple it with the tier 2 bracers, gloves, and belt. That will allow you to have the 3-piece tier 2 and the 5-piece 2.5, and you're just like chain heal god. So these tokens should go to Shamans 100%. I think the Warlock can suffer and use shoulders that have the same damage but don't have the hit. And mages, you already have similar boots. Shamans, take it. If you're an Alliance raid, hey, I guess Pallies can get it after the Warlocks and the mages. Now we have the Karaji Bindings of Command from the same 2 bosses. This can go to Hunter, but it's absolute trash for Hunter. Trash. It's kind of cool that it reduces the cooldown of rapid fire, but it's just like the damage and healing, super goofy. There's better, much better. The tier 2 is better, straight up. And then the Ranker gear is pretty good for Hunter too. Speaking of Ranker gear, if you want some damage and healing gear, just get some frickin' Ranker gear for your Smite or Shadow set. Now, Rogues, their tier 0.5 is very good, but this is going to be similar or better when they get all this stuff. The reduced evasion, it's kind of cool. Increased eviscerate, they didn't use eviscerate a ton other than in PvP, but Rogues definitely deserve, even though they are mustards, they're the piss men, we hate them, they're lucky to be in the raid. When we look at Warrior, these shoulders are so similar to the Ranker gear, and these boots, like, they're not that much different than Ranker gear. So yes, the set bonus is kind of cool for tanks to reduce the rage cost of their shouts. But even these two pieces for tank, they can deal without. And like, let's just give the Rogues some of the stuff for the first 3 weeks, right? If I have 3 Rogues in the raid the first 3 weeks, they can have these tokens, in my opinion. Next boss, we have the Twin Amps. So Veclor is going to drop this diadem. Let's take a look. So this diadem is, we already know Hunter's trash. We know Druid is trash. Paladin, wait in line for the Rogues to get it on Alliance. And then it's kind of a toss-up between Shaman and Rogue. The Rogues, they have some decent stuff already with the Bloodfang. It's better for sure, but this is also very good for Shamans to start them on getting their 5-piece. So I would say it's a toss-up between Rogue and Shaman, but I don't like Mustard that much, so we'll go with the Shamans here. Then once again, the next Twin Amp boss, Vecna Lash's Circlet. Pretty easy to say, no, priest, get to the back of the line. This is good for mage, but Mission Dare is so similar. Mission Dare is the same amount of damage and healing, but 2% crit instead of 1 hit, 1 crit. So if you don't need the hit, then stay with Mission Dare mages. Same thing with the Warlocks. If you're not desperate for the hit, Mission Dare. Warriors, Helm of Endless Rage and the Ranker gear is already so similar. So these 3 classes, they're very equal. And whoever needs it the most, I think should maybe get it. I don't know how I'm going to do the loot for the tier in my guild. I'm either going to set up some very specific, complicated, convoluted rules, a rule book, a flow chart, and I'm going to make the guild memorize it and read it. Or I'm just going to say, do you want me to just loot council this stuff? Do you want to SR it? What do you want to do? Because I'm not going to let a hunter SR this stuff. Get out of here. Uro, the big worm, he drops the leg tokens. So let's take a look at the foreskin of the skin of the great sandworm. Pally legs again. Yeah, if you want to be like some ret pally tank, weird, whatever, sure. But who else is it good for? Trash for hunter, trash for druid, very mid for warlock. There's better stuff, believe it or not, even from AQ20. So if you're horde, it's shaman, straight up shaman, no questions asked. I guess we can give it to whoever the heck wants it. Pally, warlock, even the druids, dog shit druids. But for sure the legs are going to shamans, no question. For the leg token here, priest trash, mage trash. The Black Blizzard from last boss in AQ20 is better. And so do we give it to the rogues or the warriors? Well, honestly, for the warriors, these are nice legs. However, the rank 12 boots, they're so similar. I think we can give the mustards some love. We hate on them so much. Give it to the rogues, man. Then we have the last boss who drops the chest tokens. So here, this is the tough one because sure, it's trash for Hunter, and even though the Pallies want it, get to the back of the bus, wheel your wheelchair to the back of the bus. This is best in slot tank, and so they want it. It's best in slot rogue. Even some rogues in Nax will use this over their tier 3 because of with world buffs on Alliance. This is a very good piece. And for shamans to get their set bonus. So let's say you have 3 warrior tanks. You're gonna have way more than 3 warriors, but 3 warrior tanks, maybe even 4 warrior tanks, maybe 5 warrior tanks, but definitely 3. Like the main tank, the off tank, and tank, tank 3. That's 3 warriors. Let's say you have 3 rogues. Now you're at 6 on Alliance. 6 weeks to get the main people their stuff. But now Horde, let's say you have 7 shamans. That's 13 characters. 13 weeks. I don't know who's getting it first, but I know I'm getting the first shaman. I'm getting the first warrior one. Haha, get screwed, guild members. No, for real. We'll have to kind of discuss that internally amongst the guild. But I'll probably hard res it for myself. Yeah. Now the chest, it's good for warlock. It's good for mage. Druids, trash. Warlock, priest, whatever. I don't have a lot of respect for shadow priest. Sorry. There's less competition for the caster one. It would have been nicer if they threw like shaman in here instead. Or like the warrior in here, just to like mix it up a bit instead of putting like everyone who really wants the other token on that, and then there's like not that many people who are like gonna be crazy desperate. You have 4 mages and 2 warlocks, 6 weeks, and everyone has it anyways. Then you can give it to the priests and druids. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed the video, drop me a sub and a comment. Catch me live on my Twitch channel, Dwarf Lord TV, to connect with me or say hi to me in game on any of my characters. Dwarf Lord out.
And they say that the Dwarf Lord could save us. I'm not gonna pave here and wait. I'll hold on to the beard of the Dwarf Lord. Watch as we heroic leap away.